You woke up today thinking you were doing everything right, didn't you? Taking your meds, trying to eat better, getting your walks in, trusting that your doctor knows what they're doing. But what if I told you some of the things you believe are protecting your health are actually putting your liver at silent risk? What if that seemingly harmless decision, the one everyone your age is making, is exactly what's preventing you from reversing fatty liver and getting your energy, your drive, your life back? I know how it is. You hit your 60s, and suddenly everyone has an opinion on what you should or shouldn't do, which medicine to take, which diet to follow. And amid so much information, you get lost, you trust, you obey. But inside, that little voice keeps whispering that something isn't right, that you should be feeling better, lighter, more alive. The truth is, after 60, your body changes, your liver changes, and decisions that were safe in your 40s can be dangerous now. They can accelerate the progression of steatosis to steatohepatitis, turning a fatty liver into an inflamed fibrotic liver on the road to cirrhosis. I'm going to tell you something few doctors have the courage to admit. There's a study published in 2023 in the Journal of Hepatology that analyzed over 15,000 patients over 60 with fatty liver. And guess what they found? That 5 seemingly harmless decisions, 5 things people in this age group do, thinking they're taking care of themselves, are actually accelerating liver damage at a frightening pace. Patients who avoided these 5 pitfalls had a 3 times higher rate of steatosis reversal than those who continued to make these mistakes. 3 times. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between recovering your liver or heading for a transplant. I'm a hepatologist. I've spent the last 20 years in offices, in hospitals, looking into the eyes of people like you, people who did everything they were told, and yet their tests worsened. Their fatty liver turned into something much more serious. And I'm tired of seeing patients come to me too late, with advanced fibrosis, with cirrhosis, asking me why no one warned them, why no one explained that those seemingly innocent decisions were slowly destroying their livers. That's why I'm here today, to show you exactly what you need to avoid, what you need to change now before it's too late. Now, before I reveal these 5 dangerous decisions, I need you to understand one thing. Your liver after 60 isn't the same liver you had at 30 or 40. Its regenerative capacity decreases, its sensitivity to certain foods and medications increases, and the margin for error becomes much, much smaller. So when you make a wrong decision now, the impact is amplified. It's like every mistake counts double. And the worst part is, many of these decisions are recommended by well-meaning professionals. They're things everyone does, things that seem logical, even healthy. But the latest science is showing the opposite. It's showing that we need to completely rethink how we care for our livers in our senior years. Let me tell you the story of Mrs. Carmen, a 64-year-old patient who came to my office completely desperate. She had discovered she had fatty liver 3 years ago, in the same ultrasound that detected some gallstones. Her doctor at the time was blunt. He said she needed to lose weight, cut fat, exercise. Carmen took it seriously. She really dedicated herself. She cut out all fat from her diet, started eating only grilled chicken breast, unseasoned salad, brown rice. She began walking every day, an hour in the morning, and more than that. She started taking those supplements everyone recommends: multivitamins, omega-3, calcium, vitamin D, everything her neighbor, her daughter, the internet said was good for her health. 6 months later, Carmen repeated her tests, eager to see improvement. But when the results came back, it was like a punch to the gut. Her ALT, which was 85, had jumped to 128. Her steatosis, which was grade 2, had progressed to grade 3. The elastography showed early signs of fibrosis. She couldn't understand it. She had done everything right, followed all the recommendations, sacrificed, given up everything she loved to eat. How had her liver gotten worse? When Carmen sat in front of me, her eyes were filled with tears, her hands trembling as she held those test results. She told me something I'll never forget. She said, "Doctor, I did everything I was told, and it seems my body is betraying me. It feels like no matter what I do, I'm going to end up with cirrhosis anyway. I'm going to die from this." And you know what I realized when I looked at her tests, when I talked about her routine, about the supplements she was taking, about the diet she followed? Carmen was making 4 of the 5 dangerous decisions I'm going to show you today. 4. And no one had warned her. No one had explained that everything that seemed healthy was actually overloading her liver. Now I need to ask you a question, and I want you to be completely honest with me, because your answer could help thousands of people watching this video right now. How many decisions are you making every day thinking you're taking care of yourself, but deep down you feel something isn't adding up, that the results aren't coming, that you should be feeling better? How many times have you looked at your tests and thought, I'm doing everything right, why isn't it improving? I know what it's like to carry that silent frustration, that feeling of powerlessness, of fighting an invisible force you don't understand. So I want you to comment below. Use these words if you like. I have fatty liver and I'm tired of not seeing results. Don't be ashamed, don't feel judged. This is a safe space, and when you comment, you're showing others they're not alone in this fight. You're creating a wave of support, of hope. Comment now, because I read every comment, and your story matters. Your journey matters. And together, we're going to reverse this. Now let's get to what really matters. The first dangerous decision you need to avoid after 60 is cutting out too much fat from your diet. I know this goes against everything you've heard your whole life. I know it sounds crazy for a doctor to say not to cut fat when you have a fatty liver. But let me explain the science behind it. When you drastically cut fat, especially after 60, you force your liver into a metabolic state called increased de novo lipogenesis. Basically, your body starts manufacturing fat from carbohydrates much more aggressively than before. And guess where this newly manufactured fat ends up? Straight in the liver. Worse still, when you don't consume enough healthy fats, you compromise the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins essential for liver regeneration, like vitamin E, which is one of the most potent antioxidants for protecting liver cells. Recent studies show that patients over 60 who maintain a moderate intake of healthy fats, especially omega-3s from natural sources like fatty fish, avocados, and extra virgin olive oil, have significantly higher rates of steatosis reversal than those following extremely low-fat diets. The key isn't cutting fat, it's choosing the right fats and avoiding the wrong ones. Trans fats, refined vegetable oils, fried foods, those absolutely need to go. But fats from avocados, fish, nuts, olive oil, those are your allies in liver recovery. The second dangerous decision is taking supplements without proper guidance, especially multivitamins and ready-made formulas. This is a ticking time bomb for the liver of someone already dealing with steatosis. Let me explain why. After 60, your liver's capacity to metabolize and eliminate foreign substances decreases considerably. When you take a multivitamin with high doses of vitamins and minerals, you're forcing your liver to process all of that at once. Excess vitamins, especially fat-soluble ones like A, D, E, and K, accumulate in the liver and can cause liver toxicity. Excess iron is particularly dangerous because it increases oxidative stress in liver cells, accelerating the progression of steatosis to steatohepatitis. And the worst part is, many supplements contain additives, colorings, and preservatives that are metabolized by the liver, creating an additional toxic load. I've seen patients with perfectly controlled liver enzymes whose levels skyrocketed after starting supplements, and when they stopped the supplements, the enzymes return to normal within weeks. If you truly need to supplement something, get specific tests to identify real deficiencies and supplement only what's missing in the correct doses with medical supervision. The third dangerous decision is engaging in strenuous exercise without proper preparation. Look, I know everyone says exercise is sacred, that you need to move, and I completely agree, but there's a huge difference between therapeutic exercise and injurious exercise, especially after 60 with a fatty liver. When you do very intense workouts without preparation, without gradual progression, you create massive metabolic stress on the body. The liver, already overloaded processing fat, now has to deal with the sudden increase in free radicals produced by intense exercise, with muscle tissue breakdown, with the rapid mobilization of fat that goes straight to the liver to be processed. This can worsen liver inflammation instead of improving it. The ideal for someone with fatty liver over 60 is to start with low-intensity, long-duration exercises like moderate walking, light swimming, or using an exercise bike. 30 to 45 minutes a day, 5 times a week, is infinitely better than an hour of strenuous exercise 3 times a week. Moderate consistency always beats sporadic intensity, especially when we're talking about liver health. The fourth dangerous decision, and this is one of the most common, is blindly trusting fad diets or restrictive protocols without understanding their impact on the liver. Prolonged intermittent fasting, poorly executed ketogenic diets, detox diets, meal replacement shakes, all of these can be extremely dangerous for a fatty liver after 60. I'll give you a concrete example. Intermittent fasting, when done correctly, can be beneficial. But when you have very long fasting windows, especially without guidance, you force the liver to mobilize large amounts of fat at once to produce energy. If the liver is already full of fat, this additional mobilization can completely overload the system, worsen inflammation, and accelerate fibrosis. The ketogenic diet, which is very low in carbohydrates and very high in fat, can be catastrophic if done with the wrong fats or without supervision. I've seen patients develop acute steatohepatitis after entering ketosis unprepared. The problem isn't the strategy itself, it's the execution without knowledge, without individualization, without respecting the liver's limitations at this age. And the fifth dangerous decision, which closes this list but is no less important, is using over-the-counter medications indiscriminately, especially anti-inflammatories and pain relievers. This is very serious. After 60, the combination of a fatty liver with frequent use of medications like ibuprofen, diclofenac, high-dose acetaminophen, or dipyrone is a recipe for severe liver damage. These medications are metabolized by the liver, and when the liver is already compromised by fat, its ability to process and eliminate these substances is greatly reduced. Acetaminophen, for example, which is considered safe, can cause severe liver injury at doses that would be normal for a healthy liver but are toxic for a steatotic liver. I treated a 68-year-old patient who took 2 acetaminophen tablets a day for back pain, thinking it was harmless. Within 6 months, he developed drug-induced hepatitis that nearly progressed to liver failure. When we stopped the acetaminophen and initiated a regeneration protocol, his liver recovered. But it was a close call. If you have chronic pain, talk to your doctor about safer alternatives for your liver. Explore physical therapy, acupuncture, postural changes, but don't self-medicate with anti-inflammatories thinking everything is fine. Now, returning to Carmen's story, remember her? After we identified that she was making these dangerous decisions, we made specific changes. We reintroduced healthy fats into her diet, included salmon 3 times a week, avocado daily, and quality extra virgin olive oil. We cut out all unnecessary supplements, keeping only vitamin D at an adequate dose because she had a proven deficiency. We adjusted her exercise to 40-minute walks at a comfortable pace 6 times a week without overdoing it. We replaced the restrictive diet with a balanced one, featuring low glycemic carbohydrates, quality proteins, and a variety of vegetables. And we stopped the ibuprofen she was taking almost daily for knee pain, introducing stretching and warm compresses. In 3 months, Carmen returned to the office with her test results in hand and a smile on her face. Her ALT had dropped from 128 to 72. The fatty liver had regressed from grade 3 to grade 2. The elastography showed improvement in liver stiffness. She told me she felt more energetic than she had in years, that her knee pain had improved, that she was sleeping better, waking up with a desire to live. And all this simply by stopping things that seemed right, but were wrong. I want you to understand something fundamental. Your liver has an incredible capacity to regenerate, even after 60, even with advanced fatty liver. But you need to give it the right conditions. You need to stop bombarding it with decisions that seem healthy but are destructive. Every choice you make, every food you eat, every supplement you take, every exercise you do, has a direct impact on your liver cells. And the good news is that when you make the right choices, when you respect your body's limitations and potential at this stage of life, reversal happens. It's not instant, it's not magic, but it's real, it's possible, it's within your reach. Now I know you must be wondering, but what if I'm already doing some of these things? What if I've already taken these supplements for years? What if I've already done these diets? Is it too late? The answer is no. It's never too late. The liver has impressive resilience. Even if you've made these decisions for years, simply stopping now and starting to do things differently already initiates the recovery process. Of course, the sooner you correct it, the better. But there's no point of no return until you reach decompensated cirrhosis. And even in those cases, there are strategies to stabilize. So if you identify with any of these dangerous decisions, don't feel guilty, don't feel defeated, feel empowered, because now you know, now you have the knowledge, and knowledge is power. Knowledge is change, knowledge is life. Let me give you a practical and simple protocol you can start implementing today. First, make a list of all the supplements and medications you take regularly, even over-the-counter ones. Take this list to your doctor and ask specifically, is this overloading my liver? Do I really need this? Second, adjust your diet to include healthy fats every day. A tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil on your salad, half an avocado at lunch, a handful of nuts for a snack, salmon or sardines 2 to 3 times a week. Third, reevaluate your exercise routine. If you're killing yourself at the gym or doing hikes that leave you exhausted, reduce the intensity and increase the frequency. It's better to do 40 comfortable minutes every day than an hour of suffering 3 times a week. Fourth, if you're following any restrictive diets, prolonged fasting, detox protocols, stop and talk to a professional who understands fatty liver. Don't follow fads, follow science. And fifth, find non-medicinal alternatives for chronic pain. Physical therapy, stretching, local heat, acupuncture. Your liver will thank you immensely. You might also be wondering, what about the medications my doctor prescribed for blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol? Can I continue those? Look, prescribed medications for chronic conditions are different from self-medicating with pain relievers. If your doctor prescribed it, it's because the benefit outweighs the risk. But even so, it's important to regularly monitor your liver enzymes to ensure these medications aren't causing overload. Some diabetes medications, like metformin, actually help improve liver fat. Others, like certain statins, can in rare cases worsen liver enzymes. That's why monitoring is essential. Never stop a prescribed medication on your own, but always question, always ask for clarification, always monitor. Another common question I get is about alcohol. If you have fatty liver and are over 60, the recommendation is clear: 0 alcohol. Even small amounts, that beer on the weekend, that wine with dinner, can make a huge difference in the progression of fatty liver. Alcohol is metabolized directly in the liver, and when the liver is already overloaded with fat, alcohol acts as an accelerator of inflammation and fibrosis. I know it's culturally difficult. I know people will say a little doesn't hurt, but the science is clear. To reverse fatty liver after 60, alcohol needs to be completely out of the equation. At least until you reverse the condition, until your tests normalize, until your liver is healthy again. After that, if you want to reintroduce it sporadically and in a controlled manner, that's a different conversation. But during the recovery process, 0 alcohol. And what about artificial sweeteners, diet, light, 0 drinks? That's another common trap. Many people with fatty liver cut out sugar, which is right, but replace it with artificial sweeteners in large quantities. The problem is that recent studies show that some artificial sweeteners, especially when consumed in excess, can negatively alter the gut microbiota. And the gut microbiota has a direct relationship with liver health. An imbalanced microbiota increases intestinal permeability, allowing bacterial toxins to enter the bloodstream and reach the liver, worsening liver inflammation. So the recommendation is, use natural sweeteners like stevia or xylitol in moderation, or better yet, retrain your palate to accept less sweetness. This takes time, but it's possible and liberating. I'll tell you another story that perfectly illustrates the power of avoiding these dangerous decisions. So Juan, 72 years old, retired, discovered grade 3 fatty liver and initial fibrosis 2 years ago. When he came to me, he was taking 6 different supplements, doing an 18-hour fast every day, walking 2 hours in the morning, up hills, eating practically 0 fat, and taking ibuprofen every day for shoulder pain. His test results were a disaster: ALT at 160, AST at 140, GGT at 220. He was convinced he was doing everything right. After all, he was disciplined, followed everything he read online, everything his friends recommended to the letter. But his liver was screaming for help. We did a complete overhaul. We cut all supplements except for B12, which he was deficient in. We adjusted his fasting to 12 hours only, no extremes. We reduced his walks to 45 minutes on flat ground. We introduced healthy fats into his diet: olive oil, avocado, nuts, fatty fish, and we swapped out the ibuprofen for physical therapy sessions for his shoulder. In 6 months, the results were impressive. His ALT dropped to 85, AST to 78, GGT to 92. His fatty liver disease regressed to grade 2, and the fibrosis stabilized. Mr. Johnson told me that for the first time in years, he felt like he was living, not just surviving. The shoulder pain had improved 80%. He was sleeping better, waking up refreshed. And he'd even gone back to fishing, which was his passion. This all leads me to a crucial point that I want you to remember. Health isn't about extremes. Health is about balance. And balance after 60 means respecting your body's limits, understanding that you don't need to prove anything to anyone, that there's no medal for sacrificing the most or following the most radical diet. There's just your life, your health, your chance to enjoy these years with quality, with energy, with joy. So when someone comes along offering you the miracle supplement, the revolutionary diet, the savior exercise, stop and ask, does this respect my liver? Does this respect my body at this stage of life? Or is this just another empty promise that will leave me frustrated and sick? If you've made it this far, I have a request. If this video helped you, if you recognized any of these dangerous decisions in your routine, if you felt like someone is finally telling you the truth without any fluff, hit that like button. This like isn't just a button, it's you saying this information matters, that other people need to see it, that you're committed to your health. And subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because every week I bring you content like this, information you won't find in a quick doctor's visit, you won't see in the mainstream media, that can literally save your liver, your life. And more importantly, share this video with someone you love, with that person you know is making these same dangerous choices. Who's sacrificing themselves, thinking they're taking care of themselves, but are actually harming themselves? You could be the instrument of change in someone's life today. And now, to close, I want you to comment below with your AST and ALT levels from your last checkup. Don't be ashamed of the numbers. It doesn't matter if they're high. What matters is that you're here. You're seeking information. You're willing to change. And if you've tried to reverse fatty liver before and couldn't, comment that too. I read every comment. I respond to as many as I can, and your story can inspire others. It can show someone just starting out that they're not alone on this journey. Together, we're stronger. Together, we'll reverse this silent epidemic of fatty liver disease that's destroying the quality of life for millions of people. In the next video, I'll show you the complete safe supplementation protocol for those with fatty liver after 60, which are the only supplements that truly make a difference at what doses, and how to avoid the trap of liver toxicity. You won't want to miss it. Until then, take care of your liver, respect your body, and remember, you have the power to reverse this. It's not easy, it's not fast, but it's possible. And I'll be here with you every step of the way.